blocks. Last guy, Braelon Allen from Wisconsin, 6'1", monster, 235. Here's interesting. 40, 4.4 40, fast. 26 reps, strong. Running back strong. So he's got that Wisco profile. You think of Ron Dane. I mean, they just had guys and guys and guys, right? He does feel like more of a workhorse guy. Like we're watching him in part because he's from Wisconsin. He does feel like he feels like a guy you could give the ball to 25 times a game. He does have a lot of watch out plays. And what I mean is, and I think we'll see it early here, is like if you're a defensive back and this guy gets going downhill, you better watch out. Now, again, pro style look. Double pull, tight end lead, downhill. They got a lot of stuff going on that looks, very familiar to the National Football League. Now, I mean, first of all, the one thing that stands out on this tape, maybe more than anything, and it's probably because I'm offensive lineman, but some of the holes this guy's running through are like this, man. I mean, it's like drive a semi through it. But you need to see more like this, where he's just taking an Iowa guy for a ride past the first down mark. I mean, when this guy gets going downhill fast, really is something special. Not much you can do about that. 4.40 and a stiff arm. This is big time play. There is not enough of these plays on this particular tape, but that's a big time. You're that big, that strong, can turn the corner on the guy, right? This isn't like watching Brandon Jacobs, who's 6'4", 250, and he was fast, but compared to Braelon Allen, he looks like he's lumbering a little bit, right? Like you're just going like, oh my God, this is going to hurt. This guy looks like he's trying to run around and still has the strength and power in that upper body to do some damage just with a stiff arm. Again, look at the separation from the line of scrimmage this offensive line gets. Offensive lineman at heart, guys. So let's go back and watch the left tackle here. So we got inside slant, and he just rolls his hips into this and just drives this guy off the ball. That's so big time, man. Now, what I love about Braelon Allen, but you don't see it every play. Again, he's more of a workhorse guy. But again, if you're comparing him to, AJ, if you're comparing him to Josh Jacobs, they're different. They are different styles. Like this guy's much more. I think Josh Jacobs is actually much more violent, but this guy, and we said this last year a lot. Aaron Jones was a more violent runner than AJ, even though Aaron Jones weighed 30 pounds less than him. This guy is also in that. I think he's more violent than AJ because he's a little bit more twitchy and explosive, but he's not that violent type necessarily that's going to blow your doors off. I think when he gets in with DBs and stuff, he just, as opposed to some of the other two guys, he knows to put his pads down. Like he knows exactly what he's supposed to be doing. Love to see a stiff arm there. The vision here. So the offensive lineman is beaten here. The defensive tackle gets, resets the line of scrimmage. So you really want to see that and hit it. And we just showed two other guys with Jalen Wright hit the backfield, a little bit of hesitation, maybe go sideways. You love this quick jump cut and just get downhill. Just get downhill, just like your coach. Excellent. I thought this was odd, and this isn't a big play. Like a lot of people drop this ball. This isn't an easy ball to catch. But I said it a little bit earlier. He's got the 4.4, but a 32-inch vertical and a 117-inch broad. Go back, and I think we had a 38-inch vertical and a 135-inch broad jump, in a same position. Like, that is a huge discrepancy. And I think if you look this up, you guys like the RAS scores and stuff, there is something to the vertical jump, the broad jump. The 4.4 is important, and he certainly has speed. But from a purely explosiveness standpoint, I'd be interested to go back and see what Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs last year had. Because, and again, a lot of this is coached now. Don't get me wrong. So you have to watch the tape. But I do think Leonard Fournette is a kind of a realistic body type player to measure this guy by, because I think the numbers you're going to see are kind of similar as far as he's got some pace on the ground. He's certainly explosive. He's powerful. But when you talk about really, really twitchy, elite kind of fast twitch fibers, 32-inch vert and 117-inch broad is not at the elite level. And I think Fournette was kind of that way. Again, still had a really good career. But I think it does put you into that. I'm not buying this guy or paying this guy, drafting this guy to get a home, like for a home run player. I'm getting him because I think I can build my offense around, 20, 25 carries a game with him. Little backside trap. Again, he can get downhill and he can put his shoulder into people. If you were in the market, this warms the heart. Look at this. Bye-bye. I mean, let's watch it again, man. God, how much fun is that? I mean, this is Iowa. This isn't Slapdick Central either playing defense. This is some good guys. I love this. I mean, this is what's hard about watching. If you're just looking strictly at production, Wisconsin's always got good offensive line. Even when they're not good, they're good. And they got a 5-man box here. And they're thinking that linebackers will be able to make that play. And what you love to see is they're banking on that outside linebacker making that play. He sees it. He hits the Jets, and he slips right by him and gets all the way downhill, finishes with his pads. So he's one of these guys where, the more you watch him, the more you like him. Now you see the penetration, and what you'd love to see here is, hey, I know I'm going this way. This isn't going to work. I need to put my foot in the ground now and just get downhill because we have two guys getting beat on my left. Yep. Just get downhill as much as you can. Sometimes it's how they deal with the L's sometimes that matters just as much as how they take the good holes, right? When things go poorly, can you get positive yardage? Again, there's some big holes here, and he's just making some very subtle movements. I think if we had the end zone, you'd see there's some little jump cuts. Now, here's the stuff we're talking. Stop spinning, man. Just be who you are. Just be you. So I think that's enough of that. Listen, the verdict for me is, and I might change. I wrote a note that I wanted to say, I like the FSU kid the best. So I like Trey the best, and I think that's fair for what you want, what you need. The way that he reads the blocks, particularly on the fullback about tight end leads and the double pulls, I really like that. Jalen Wright is like a true change of pace guy. He's a home run guy. He got open field explosiveness. I think both of them do, but he kind of looks the part a little bit more. When I say change of pace, I'm also talking about maybe do you want to explain the playbook? I do think that both of Trey and Braelon are more workhorse type players, and I think the more I watch the Wisconsin kid, the more I like him because I can see how he settles into an NFL offense. You see, there's a lot of subtlety in some of his movement, but he tries to keep his pads downhill for the most part. Wright does feel like a big play waiting to happen. He's just got that body type and the way that he moves, you're just going, okay, there's something here that maybe these other two don't necessarily have. But you can't, if Josh Jacobs goes down and this is what you're left with, I think you got a problem because I don't know if he can hold up in the NFL the way he does. Certainly, Benson, you talk about the upright running south. It's something he can fix. And I think as you see people in front of him, he continues to play a little bit lower when he's just kind of got that open hole. It just gets a little bit upright. These, again, are just coachable things. All of this stuff is like the only things that aren't necessarily coachable is one of them's got a 32-inch vertical and it runs a 4.4. That's a little bit odd. Again, I put him in that Leonard Fournette bucket.